Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Morning, everybody.
One. You just never got it.
Yeah, yes, if they haven't issues, so we're on the meeting today. I'll call it to order at 8:30. We have a quorum. I'll take a motion to approve the agenda in the minutes.
So moved.
All right, there's a motion. I'll second that motion. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? All right, Rich.
More, couple things, we can't talk about letting yet, but, I do have. We decided, or I guess I kind of decided to use our utility permit for Gordy's tile issue. It's kind of a nice, clean way to take care of it. That way we know that there's a utility, we'll call it a utility in the right of way. I think we actually did the utility permit and adjusted it for another tile that ran parallel, so I thought it might be the quickest way to allow that. So we got that. If you guys want to sign off on it next week, I gave Jackie the permit. He hasn't signed it yet either. So.
You get a hold of them and get them to sign it then.
I can talk to Matt or Gordy. I'll
Yeah,
talk to you.
I sent Matt a message that we wouldn't be signing today, but I'll stay in touch with you for progress.
Okay, so I'll just take that back up with me then, Jackie.
Yeah.
And he's aware that it's his responsibility in the ditch, right?
Yep.
For any future
That's what the
utilities.
That's what,
Yeah.
that's what the permit's gonna say. I added another line to our standard permit for this specific project.
Yeah.
And, it says any future maintenance and replacement is on the owner.
Yeah.
Well, and not only that, I guess the biggest thing is that if somebody else is going through there, he's gonna wanna let them know that he has tile in there. You know, he's not gonna be on the one call list, but
Right.
he's gotta pay attention. All of a sudden there's flags in the ditch.
The nice
He's
thing
gonna let
about
the
that,
contractor know he's got tile in
and the
it.
nice thing about our permit now is we're required that any utility comes in, finds the tile. They talk to adjacent landowners about tile before they place anything. So
Okay,
if that doesn't happen, then the utilities violated our permit. And the fact that we wrote that, but we changed our permit specifically for the fact that everybody was cutting tiles. Now we just said, you know what, it's your responsibility to talk to every landowner that's adjacent to your project to find out where the tile are.
Yeah.
So that should be alleviated.
okay, good.
I had Colton took a call last week about, it must be a township, and I can't remember if it's up by whatever Minnesota township is up up by Raven. There's a T intersection, a lot of our roads from Minnesota are T intersections, and it's up by that new substation for the wind towers. The road they use to go there. The township took complaints about the wind tower people cruising through the T intersection. And whatever, they want to put a stop sign up. And then somebody told them, well, it's Worth County's area of maintenance. Well, we maintain the road there, but their stop sign would technically be stopping their road. And it's probably placed right at the right of way line on the north side of Line Road. So my response is, first of all, if you want a stop sign, you have to resolute the stop sign and not Worth County, because it's stopping your road, not ours. So my response to them is gonna be, you guys take care of that sign placement. And resoluting that sign, but again, to put a stop sign up, they need to do some sort of a study to verify that it's, it's a T intersection, so most people are slowing down, or they should be slowing down. Whether or not people are paying attention, we know how traffic gets anymore, but that's the response I'm gonna send back to the township, that we're not responsible for their leg of the northbound road. I mean, maintenance wise, we're responsible for the east-west portion of the road that's on state line, but the leg going north is gonna be their leg, so. That's what I'm gonna respond back to, so. I know that our rock run is done and we're trying to, get the moisture incorporated back into the road, so. I did have an interview a couple weeks ago, and I did send an offer out to hire new individuals, so I'll be putting that stuff through next week. And then I'm gonna be doing some more interviews because we need 3 more spots, so.
You're still maintenance guy?
Yep, so. Trying to figure out actually where to start placing people. We might be changing some maintenance routes out on the west side of this county with the Joyce and Fertile Shop being I think there's technically nobody's in the joist shop right now because Tim's off, he's getting surgery done, and I don't think we've been moving people around, and so right now there's nobody.
Fertile.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Fertile,
no.
yes, yeah. And you know, the ultimate goal for me would be to consolidate those two shops into one, but
Right,
some discussion for another time, so. I can give, I know we can't, we're not talking about, I guess I can't talk about it until afterwards, but once we get done with the project award and things like that, we'll talk about tip dollars that, since these projects are not a good thing, which is the remaining money we have from what the estimates were, so that's all I've got to talk about for now until we're done with the other stuff.
Well, we can jump into drainage then for a few minutes, I guess. We got some claims. Any questions or claims, Mark?
nope, I'll make a motion for the drainage claims.
Mike, there's a motion to approve drainage claims, and I will second that motion. If there's no other discussion, all in favor, aye?
Alright,
Aye, opposed? All right, motion passed. D 34 Val.
34, okay. So I've kind of heard back from Pop, Nettleton, Peterson. Basically, Pop Peterson think that it's probably need an engineer pulled in. The project's definitely gonna go over the threshold. To get an engineer, or to not get an engineer, we're gonna go over that amount. Nettleton did drop off that estimate. I scanned an email to you guys. He thinks he can come in under it. But that's also just doing the 1 mile section in that.
And that's all we had asked for originally, right?
Right, but I mean, I added them up and it's still looking right up there. And if you read it, it doesn't include a lot of things either, so. My worries is he'll get in there and start doing it and then extra costs and then we'll go over and. And Peterson's not new, if we can shorten what needs done, maybe just. Parts like fog, because we're assuming it's smaller, it's fog, because the bigger tile, the further north we go,
Mhm.
it's all that old clay tile.
mhm.
But you're supposed to look at the district as a whole.
Yeah,
That's where we run into.
that's the thing is. The way it sounds up there with some of the intakes, as soon as it's full, it's blowing out those intakes. Then you get to where the pipe margins and then that intake's taking water.
Well, I don't think it's the sand silt situation, but they got the tile.
Mhm.
If it's full of thicker sand, I'll probably have to bring rock in.
Yeah. I mean, I like to see it get done, but. Stay underneath that guideline and get that done, but. How big of a slap on the wrist to get if it goes over? I mean.
Well, and you had said you'd bring them back in when you got the bids, so.
Right.
Yeah. I guess that's probably what we need to do.
Hold another meeting. and
Hold up
have
another
one
meeting and
person.
say, here's the deal, I mean. Do you want to continue to do a Band-Aid, or you want to take a look at the whole project, and we'll probably have to get the engineer then, I mean, that's,
Maybe we get those 3 contractors to come to the meeting too and
try.
talk and. With the landowners and see what they want.
Right.
Well, and it's not what the landowners want, it's what the
Wow.
law is.
Mm.
And you guys as trustees need to be,
Well, it is, they decide, I guess,
Well, they all know it's an issue.
yeah.
I mean, I don't think there's anybody against it. It's an issue. It's gotta get done. It's just. And that one has been reclassified, so the proper schedule is there.
Right,
It's a main, so everybody's gonna get a chunk.
and they're all gonna benefit, but it's
Yeah.
gonna take a while to pay for it probably.
Yeah.
yeah, that's what it says, set up another meeting, I guess,
You wanna like out in August?
whenever,
Probably gonna have to by now, aren't
Yeah,
yeah, imagine that's where we're at.
we? Yeah, gotta go like the 7th or 14th or something.
I won't be here this summer.
yeah.
14th.
Is that enough time to put it together with
Publish,
you
yeah,
being out?
Oh, yeah, I can send out a letter, or I'll just do like a postcard and send out to
Mhm.
everyone and explain what's going on, why we're having a meeting.
So is that a motion?
I'll make that a motion.
On
Yeah.
the 14th.
Motion for August 14th is the DD 34 landowner meeting. I'll second that motion. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
You're thinking 9:30, right?
Yeah, sorry, 9:30.
9:30 after the board meeting.
9:30, yeah.
Right away,
I knew you were thinking, that.
I'll reserve the magistrate room.
Thanks.
perfect.
All right. Open ditch repair contract on DD2. DD2 and Larson contract.
There's 3 copies this.
Just approving the contract, we've got everything figured out, right, and they can go to work.
Motion to approve the contract.
Okay, there's a motion by Mark to approve the contract. I will second that motion. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Carry. Yeah, just.
Yeah. They're working.
Are they? Yeah.
Well, they were, right, and then 4 of them have been back there again.
Haven't had any grief.
Landowner trees up, they most, most of that back, they keep for doing, they're going at it. Are they going again? I don't know if they're back at it or
We're Friday.
they did work Friday. I didn't get up there that way.
I'll take a peek when we go to Lake Mill.
Yeah.
Discussion and action, spraying DD 21 West Main. That's our retention pond,
Yeah,
right?
and conservation doesn't spray, so we'll have to decide if you want them to line somebody up or if you wanna talk to DNW.
Are they, have they been up here? Are they up here?
I don't know if they've been here or not, B&W.
You know, if they've been up here?
Usually they call before they come, so.
Yeah, I mean,
I know he gave us a new schedule for the season, but
I
right,
know DD 10 didn't look like it'd been sprayed yet, and that guy's been asking, so I didn't know what their plan was.
reach out to BMW, I guess,
If they wanna add it to their,
yeah,
add that.
if they haven't been here yet, then it just makes sense to have them do it.
it doesn't look like they've done that. DD 10, I know there's trees in there that they need to be sprayed.
And maybe, or probably coordinate with, Bolton and Mink so that they get what they're supposed to get.
Okay.
Yeah, cause they've got some,
Native stuff or whatever they can.
yeah, well, and it said, I saw the recommendation, there was spray in October maybe.
Yeah, probably some stuff in fall is better.
And
Right.
yeah,
Early October would be the best, but yeah.
Okay,
so, and I don't know, maybe
well, that way.
they would know too, BMW would know.
Flowering ones done, so you can kill them.
Yeah, 'cause they gave us a nice little chart of all the weeds and different things, which.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, you can forward them, they can see what they would have to have, so that'll help. Perfect.
Yeah, I guess that's what I would do is talk with them and then if they're capable and wanna do it, then we'll,
Alright,
if you can send them that, and if they can get us kind of an estimate on it, then we can just approve it then. Once you see an estimate,
sounds good.
that works out.
If we approve claims quick and then we can go.
Motion to
Yeah.
approve claims.
Alright, there's a motion to approve claims. I'll second that motion. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye, opposed?
And payroll too.
Payroll,
Payroll claims, motion to approve payroll claims.
no second.
All right, I got a motion and Mark second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carried. Are there any reports?
Yeah. Reporter and auditor and. Quick report.
Motion to approve the reports.
Okay, there's a motion by Mark to approve reports. I will second it. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, aye? Aye, opposed? Reports are approved.
And there's one payroll.
Payroll eligibility or salary change?
Motion to approve the payroll eligibility change.
Right. For Terry and Sheriff's Office, okay, I'll second that motion. Any discussion?
She's learning. She remembered herself this year.
Good.
Hearing none,
Forgets herself.
all in favor, aye?
Aye. That's not good.
Aye, opposed? Aye, motion carried. Reports, fire. There's that. Okay, I'm gonna recess our regular meeting and open our public hearing. Take a motion to open the public hearing for 390th and Thrush paving projects.
So moved.
All right, there's a motion to open public hearing. I'll second that motion. Roll call votes, maybe.
All right,
Stone, aye. Public hearing is open. Rich.
Anybody's had any questions on the project itself? We did, have the letting, or we did take bids on Friday. Received the bids, the apparent one bidder was Ulam Brothers. Okay, I handed you out the apparent low bid list, Heartland came in at a combined project total of $3,467,097. And Ulam came in at $2,876,699.47. Can you spit that out? And then Matthew did submit a bid, but it was a non-responsive bid because we had an addendum that didn't acknowledge it.
Okay.
So. I have talked to the contractor about that. And I'm understanding what happened there, so. Couldn't read the bid aloud because it was non-responsive.
Okay.
So that's all I have. I think with what we have there, I would make a recommendation to. Award the contract to Ulam Brothers.
Okay, is there anybody in the public that has any questions or comments on this bid letting or these projects? Hearing none, I'll take a motion to close the public hearing.
so moved.
All right, there's a motion, I'll second that. Roll call vote, Smithy?
Aye.
Stone, aye. Public hearing is closed. I will reconvene the regular meeting. And we'll have discussion, take possible action on resolution 2023-28, approval of the construction.
I will make a motion to approve the construction.
I make one comment, it's not the 117th day of July, it'll be the 17th day of July.
Funny how it worked. Okay, there's a motion to approve the construction with Ulam Brothers. I will second that motion. Any other discussion? Hearing none with a roll call votes, maybe?
Aye.
Stone, aye. That motion will carry, or resolution will carry. They gonna start fairly soon.
I think. So I think, we can't talk about the project, but there was just this question, about whether we could hold off and do it next year, and I said no. So I think they're fine with doing it this year, it's just gonna be a late season project. As long as the cold in place recycling get done, I think that was the goal, but. The one thing now that we've got our TIF projects let bid, we estimated, well, that is give you kind of a rundown, we estimated $330,000. For our Lincoln 42 box culvert, that came in at $325,000, so based on the bid, $5,000 savings there. The Kensett one, we estimated 300,000, came in at 260,000, so $40,000 savings there. Then we estimated, I think we estimated the 390th Street project at 2.8 million, it came in at, that individual one was at 1.8, so there's $1 million. And then the other project, Thrush, I believe, we estimated at 1.6, came in at 1.03. So there's another $500,000 there. So we've got, it's nice that we've got this extra money. Now we got to figure out how to keep spending it down. But so it's kind of nice to have that relief there. I was worried about maybe we wouldn't be able to do all the projects because of not knowing exactly where the bids are. But looks like we're going to be doing all right. We just I've got to look at my program now and find out exactly what we have programmed. Can't remember what the actual, we had this money we need to get spent within a certain amount of time. For the first year, we can start looking at maybe some of these other smaller projects if we need to. I haven't looked at the final closeout of the 23 fiscal year yet to find out how much local money we have there yet to start hitting some other things too. Well, we borrowed, how much did we borrow total for TIF?
5.7.
5.7, so we've got. To maybe about 3 point some bid. So maybe we're still looking at it. So So
We should still be able to get some other projects.
the thing that I have to look at is making sure that because we talked about. Kind of this stuff during budget time. Budget and program like in December and didn't really kind of. Stick to our guns till after that. So I'm gonna have to look at my program and find out what I've got programmed for local for fiscal 24. I don't know, I mean, we could amend the program or we can. I have to look at some things to find out what we have listed because. When I programmed things, I didn't have all these in there because we weren't sure what we were putting down, so I didn't program anything else because. When I did the program, we didn't know if we were doing TIF till after we got things going, so. I'll look and see what we've got for upcoming other paving projects that we can look at doing, so I'm gonna have to be juggling some of my program and budget around a little bit because, you know, that $1.5 million is good for another project, so. We'll just have to keep an eye on where the money's going. So,
Good question, so. We brought this up before, I think a lot of our cement roads that we've done in the
Yep.
past. We've been cold patching them and we've had the explosions and things
Yep.
like that, is there any possibility we could work some nice repairs into some of those roads like we. You
And I
know,
think
cut
that's
some
something,
chunks out,
that's
I
something.
mean, it's a different deal, but,
Yeah, we have concrete formwork now, so,
okay,
the thing is that the TIF money can go to that because the TIF money is designated for construction, but
Right.
with our carryover balance.
Okay.
We can definitely look at that, and I wanna get some of that stuff.
yeah,
going, so.
I just hate to see, there are two good
Yep.
roads to start.
Yep,
Keep-
exactly.
Keep patching them, all it does is peel it out and make it worse, so.
Yep. I know sometimes we get the cold patch in there, and it's nice, sometimes you can't even feel that it's there,
No.
but some of it, you know, you want it to look
Yeah.
better, so we can work on some of that stuff
I
too.
appreciate that,
But yeah, as far as what we borrowed, we're looking good.
good.
Will we need to change budget too? Can you get rolling or
What's that?
did you have enough to get rolling or are we gonna have to shuffle stuff?
I'll have to look at, I mean. As far as having money, I'm not concerned about money, it's whether the projects are programmed or not.
Mhm.
Right,
Because I think what I just did a brief look over at the closeout of June and the carryover balance, and that's pretty healthy. So we should have plenty, I mean, we can start looking at some of these, not necessarily these, we can look at some of these TIF ones a little bit too, but. We can start looking at smaller box culvert, like a smaller pipe that are narrow on the roads and start. Hammering out some of these narrow culverts that have these little head walls that, you know, the road's up quite a bit.
Right.
where they cave in,
Well,
built in
Yeah,
1800.
exactly, yep.
It's obvious, but I've been hearing that other contractors, excavation contractors are looking for fall work, so.
So we can find a lot of.
If there's a lot of stuff that doesn't necessarily require paving patching.
Right, and it's
Do
also,
that like the fall, but
and we,
it may be a good time to get some of those out, if we can get some of those.
we can consider it maintenance, so we
We
wouldn't have to go out
those
before.
culverts, then they settle over them.
Right, well, and if it's too late, if it's late in the year, you're not gonna get asphalt.
Right.
Right, and I'm more thinking of some of these gravel roads that have the narrow stuff where you can just dig it and open it up and put it in and stuff, so.
Mhm.
We can get a fair amount of them and put a quote package out for fall work,
Right,
cause they don't take long to do.
no,
No, and that's
You get
just a small inconvenience during fall for a 1 mile stretch, you know, you
Yeah,
can go
it's a
around.
1 day. and
Usually a 1 day deal, so.
yeah, we're not replacing a bridge.
No,
I mean,
you know,
else to do it.
none of us like the inconvenience, but that's just a small deal.
But we can actually start, when I start looking at. The annual report, which is due September 15th, I can start looking at. Where we are funding wise, what we have out there, I think we're gonna be pretty healthy. To try to, and now that I've got. Well, now that Colton's up there again, I'm not too worried, I mean, we can start looking at some more things again, not to say that. The other crews up there, we weren't, but we still got projects to close out, so that kind of hampers the
Good.
process, but. We can work through some things and try to get some of that stuff done.
Okay.
So.
Perfect.
I'll work on getting the contract put together and getting that set up, the contract. See if it takes a week or two to get that stuff back and to get the contract to put it back on the agenda for approval.
Sounds good,
All right.
anything else?
I have nothing else.
Moving down to liquor license,
No,
nothing. Winworth Betco, Melissa on? Hello.
Just getting ready for the exec board meeting today.
Sounds good, we'll be there 11:30.
Sounds good.
Thank you. Jason Petersburg will be up for next week.
Okay.
EMS continued discussion.
At the meeting on their downtown, which, had good turnout, trustees, mayors and city council representatives there, so they will. It's on their radar, hopefully they'll start to act on some things and, talk with Core City, we had a representative from Core City there too, so good discussion on that, and, so hopefully they'll. Trustees will move forward and make contact with that, maybe it's be 28 agreements and get some stuff lined up, so.
They'll have enough to cover their expense over there, won't they, with their levy they have?
Yeah, hopefully, so. I mean, it's. Basically planning this next year, a year ahead now.
Yeah.
Maybe we can get, hey, we might look at some other
And then,
things. It was good.
his name,
Yeah,
vice
Everybody
chair.
not happy it's falling in their lap, but that's what it is.
Yeah.
You know, we're gonna deal with it.
Yep.
So,
Well, that's good. At
got
least
some good trustees there, so,
they're all working together on it, so.
yeah, the cities are aware now. I think
Well, we did.
they'll look for something to do and see if they can, they're limited by levy too, guess what they can do and can't do, even worse than the trustees. So,
Right.
Too bad.
Seems like.
We need some state legislative changes, so
Yep.
anybody on Zoom land out there, make sure you talk to your representatives about EMS.
Yep.
I think it's a really good idea. Just look at sports betting, if we could get that thing to go through, it'll be there.
Right, keep
Yeah,
on,
yeah,
for sure, so.
take the pressure off the counties.
Right. Alrighty, people service. Nothing. I did talk to. Chris, was that, no, it's 2 weeks ago, he was in here.
Yeah.
Sounds like you got that software figured
Yep, I think so.
out. Alright, department heads. Anybody, anything?
Oh, yeah. August 14th, we're set up for the state jail inspection, so Delbert will be back. Give you a little update on the satellite office, on the insurance side. Denny's getting everything put together to send to insurance for our desks and chairs that were ruined. And then we've got all the stuff sent in for the totaled car. So I probably sometime here in the next couple of months, will probably, whenever Jackie sets up amendments, I'll have to do a couple amendments to bring that money back in. Also, I did have Kennison's in, Kennison Taylor in to look at some old cabinets in the booking room, in the back dispatch and out in the pantry, where they took out the old generator to try and get that old vent out of there and that. And we'll be using some room and board money, so I'll probably have to do an amendment on that, but that's what we have to use that money for anyway. So those things are kind of coming at us. I'll bring down the bid once I get it for what that would cost.
Sounds good. Any other department heads? Supervisor Weekly.
Other than the EMS meeting, I had hazmat and transportation hazmat was just, it really wasn't, they got their input and things like that, but nothing major, transportation. Krista was there from DOT, kind of discussed some of the projected projects, you know, state projects and stuff, talked about I-35, anybody's been driving I-35 realizes that little. Whatever overlay they call that thing, it's not working and they're gonna do it again. Clear Lake brought it up, from Clear Lake South, I think,
Mhm.
I don't think it's even this year, I think it's 24.
That microsurface.
Yeah, that microservice, thank you, and it's costing them money too, because they gotta have special blades now, because it's harder, it tears their blades apart when it falls snow, but it's like they're gonna do this for another couple, 3, 4, 5 years before they touch it, but it's, you know, and it's worse now than it was before.
Yeah, it did not make it better.
That was a big discussion, you know, item on that, and it's, most people in the area are not very happy with that microservice, so, you know, hopefully they, the federal will step up and start to take a look at some of the stuff that is a good idea that's really not working, I mean, in most situations. So, and, that was a big discussion, and, I mean, there's some, projects coming up that, benefit our area. I think we've been aggressive in allowing that money to be spent in the area, so that's kind of a good deal, so, but other than that, it's all I have.
I had, what was the last week, the week before I had Jar Rock Watershed, and we got most of our comprehensive plan. Drafted up, so we're getting going on that, and then we did have some discussions of. Possibly, soon as, we're not to that point yet, but once we get to that point, is of talking with other watersheds in the area.
Coordinator or something, I think the whole
Yeah,
northwest part of the state better go together if they're gonna get a coordinator.
yeah, well, and if you're gonna, you know, Winnebago, Shell Rock, Upper Cedar, they
Yep.
all come together at the same place, so
Right.
it would be fine.
Makes sense.
So we're ready to have those discussions, we just need to get this comprehensive plan done and get our stuff done, then we can start reaching out more that way, so it's. Sounds like there's some stuff they're cutting, but there's still some monies out there for that, and then water quality is a big thing still, so
Yep.
hopefully they continue to fund some stuff.
Yep.
We'll see, I guess. Well, all right, anything for next week's agenda?
Something I can think so.
Nothing else, so just gonna have all of us at it.
No, I didn't have to do Cattleman tomorrow night. I didn't realize it. Their annual,
Yeah, well, Enos won't be there.
no, Enos won't be there.
I didn't know.
I usually put the invitation on, but I just saw it on social media this morning, so I guess tomorrow night. Right. If you wanna stay,
They're not signing it today. Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
so moved.
I'll second it. All in favor, aye?
All right.
Meeting is adjourned.